तत्सावितुं वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Well, welcome back to my another course on who can learn Sanskrit. Can I learn it? This is one of the questions asked by many people when they contact me, and I felt that let me come up with some basic idea that how can we learn Sanskrit? Who can learn Sanskrit? Everyone cannot learn Sanskrit. It is very obvious. Otherwise, the whole world, everybody might have learnt it. But we require something in us, and we require the blessings of Bhagavan. Without these two, it is not possible that you will come to know when you start learning that. Well, my name is Shankar, and I don't use my surname like what we say in India, but I am Shankar Iyer, and I am not a uh, professor or teacher, something like that. I just share whatever knowledge I have and whatever I experienced over the past 5 years of learning Sanskrit. Well, so I call myself as your co-student. I am also a student from you and I learn from you. Well, we will see how we can learn Sanskrit and what qualifications we need to learn Sanskrit. Okay, in this some 2-3 parts I will make this because people normally don't see a lengthy lecture. So this is one of the first obstruction. A learner should always have the capacity to listen. That is called Shravana Shakti. If he is not in a position to listen, then he cannot get a different perspective from his way of thinking. So nowadays everything we want to get it in a hurried way, but learning something you can't hurry things. So you need to listen to totally. So when you are free to listen these lectures, you start these lectures. When you are in a hurry, when you are in a different mood, you are not calm and quiet, then don't listen. Otherwise, whatever I say will not be grasped by you with the total attention. So when you can give total attention, then only you listen these lectures. And that is one of the very basic qualification to learn Sanskrit, because we have to learn Sanskrit by listening. We have to listen from the teacher. Without the help of teacher, learning Sanskrit is very, very difficult. On our own, we can't learn. It's not like some other subject. Even though you know the Sanskrit language well, you cannot learn on your own so many texts. You need the guidance of teacher. The language itself is like that, and the subject topics are like that. So we need to listen. The habit of listening to the lectures without jumping, skipping, or without doing multiple activity. Totally we should listen. That habit we should have. Okay, we are going to see in this where to start. What is the option for me to start? Because many people say, I know already something like that, so many people. So I will just summarize all that. And what are all the baby steps and how and why we can learn. Like that, we will see. Then how we should dedicate our time and devote in learning this. And I will give some conclusions of this lecture. So I hope you got the idea that what you are going to see in this 3 or 4 part lecture. About me, I am a Sanskrit learner and I am learning Sanskrit in 5 years. And when I learned with my other co-learners, I felt the difficulties of many of the people, and I started teaching to simplify the concept to many of my co-students. So I'm doing this teaching for the past 3 years, and Samskrita Bharati in India, they are conducting 4 level of exams. They are called Pravesha, Parichaya, Siksha, and Kovida. These 4 exams I passed. Every 6 months only you can pass. So you need 2 years to pass all these exams. And I scored very good marks, above 80%, like that. So they call it as distinction. Then I started pursuing my master's in Sanskrit from the Karnataka State Open University, Mysore. And my final year exams are due in another 3-4 months. So it is a systematic way of studying. When you study the masters, then so many things we have to study. So I got a very good exposure to so many topics. And in my first year, I scored some 75 or 76 percentage, and I'm hopeful to get above first class in the second year also. I actually served in Government of India Telecom Department from the year 1982, and in the year 2020 I got retired. Almost some 40 years I worked in different field of our department, and before joining department I worked in some private companies. So I am running on my 64, and people say that after some age you cannot learn. I say, no, I'm learning. It is possible. It all how you put your mind and dedication, time, and how you are getting diverted from so many other activities. How wisely you choose which activity is essential, which is not, for further leading the life. We have some leftover life now. So, further, how to lead the life in a satisfying, contented, calm and quiet way. So, if you think on all those lines, then I felt Sanskrit learning is one of the best way, because we learn the original text from Ramayana, Mahabharata, like that, whatever written. In fact, I read 24,000 slokas of Ramayana also. So we find very enjoying life when we learn Sanskrit, and gradually, when you take in the information you gather from that Sanskrit text and adapt in your life, gradually it makes changes in our life, in our thoughts, in our attitude, in our approach, in our way of looking at life, the whole world, the purpose of life, like so many diversified thoughts we get. And naturally, we discard from all these very short term pleasures of this worldly life. I am on a living example, and in the past 5 years, I got so much of changes in me. Many of the peoples, my relations, my friends, and my colleagues, they all can find the difference in me. And personally, I feel the difference in me. Okay, I am from India, and I live in Mysore city, which is in Karnataka state. Okay, let us start that lecture of who can learn Sanskrit. Can I learn?